Scary moments on the water. A normal day for kayakers turns into a full-on rescue. How they ended up in a dangerous situation but made it to safety.
And South Valley shooting. APD says 2 people are dead, 1 person being questioned after shots ring out at a home. We have the latest on the investigation this morning.
Plus, breaking overnight, an arrest in a cold case beating of an Albuquerque teen. We have team coverage.
Where have you been all this time?
Why didn't you turn yourself in? Do you have anything to say to her?
Anything to say to the family?
Breaking right now, a major development in a 9-year-old cold case. This morning, a 33-year-old Albuquerque man is waking up behind bars, a suspect in a crime.
It was back in September 2008 when police say Justin Hansen brutally attacked then 17-year-old Brittany Marcel, nearly killing her. This morning, he's facing various charges, including attempted murder. Good morning. I'm Fernanda Lopez.
I'm Adam Atchison. We'll get right to it. That case is one of Albuquerque's most notorious unsolved cases, but almost 10 years after the crime, the nightmare for Brittany and her family could be over. News 13's Sarah Yingling recalls the case that's haunted some of APD's officers for nearly a decade and left a then Albuquerque teen nearly deaf and blind. Sarah?
Yeah, Fernanda, it's been a long road of recovery for Brittany Marcel. In fact, it was just several years ago when she suddenly started to remember small details about the day she was attacked, putting the case back in the spotlight and giving detectives new leads. In 2008, Brittany, a then 17-year-old Cibola High School student, left school to meet her mother for lunch at home. That's when police say she was brutally attacked by a man with a shovel, beaten almost to the point of death. Brittany's mother walked in on the attack but was able to get out of the house. Brittany was in a coma for 2 weeks. When she had woken up, she had no recollection of the attack or the attacker. Police had very little information or leads other than fingerprints left at the scene. But in 2015, there was a big development in the case. Brittany began recalling the moments of the attack.
I honestly think she knows, and her brain is releasing things as soon as her mind is able to receive it.
With the help of her mother getting a brief glimpse of what the attacker looked like, officials were able to put together a sketch and a description. At the time, Brittany believed the man was an acquaintance and thought she may have known him from her job at Cottonwood Mall. But today, we're still waiting to learn more on their relationship. Fernanda?
Sarah, thank you. Brittany and her family have since moved out of state. Brittany continues to recover this morning.
Our News 13 has team coverage this morning, covering up-to-the-minute details on this cold case arrest. We're going to turn now to Catherine Mazzone, who's tracking how the suspect was caught. Catherine.
That's right, Fernanda. As Sarah mentioned, police believed this whole case hinged on DNA evidence, but police say this dangerous predator they call Hansen could have been here this whole time, and only until another case came up did they find him.
He's been on the run for 9 years after this horrific crime that he committed.
Albuquerque police officer Simon Drobick held up a photo of 33-year-old Justin Hansen before bringing him out for reporters. He says a group of undercover detectives were the ones to actually go to Hansen's home in Bosque Farms and pick him up without incident. But Drobick says the detectives in this case worked diligently to solve it and find the man they say did it. At this point, Hansen's arrest warrant has been sealed until he goes before a judge, so details are slim. But police told us nearly 4 years ago the suspect left his or her fingerprints at the Marcel scene and blood on the window. They say they put that DNA evidence into a national crime database and told us detectives could crack this case if that same suspect committed another violent crime anywhere in the country and was caught or left behind genetic material. Years later, police have now arrested Hansen. Again, Officer Drobick couldn't discuss how Hansen's DNA played a role in his arrest just yet, but he did have a clear message for Hansen's alleged victim.
But the important thing is he's off the streets, and that we want to let Brittany and her family know that he's in custody. He won't be terrorizing anybody in Albuquerque anymore, and he won't be terrorizing Brittany.
APD says they did contact the lead detective, or the lead detective in this case, rather, did contact Brittany's family to let them know that Hansen was arrested for this crime. They say they plan to take photos and DNA swabs of Hansen, but they say he has lawyered up. Back to you.
Okay, Catherine, now Hansen is facing a slew of charges including kidnapping, physical injury, attempted murder, and aggravated battery. The case was even featured on America's Most Wanted.
And we did some digging this morning and found new details about Hansen's criminal history. It's not much. According to New Mexico courts, right now his criminal convictions include a DWI in 2006, a failure to stop at a stop sign in 2009, and speeding in 2014. As more information comes in about him, we'll pass it along to you right here on News 13. And we're going to be tracking this cold case arrest all day throughout the morning, of course, and the rest of this Thursday on air and on the KRQE News app.
Now we'll check out the rest of the day's top stories in just a moment.
And first, I should say, Kristen Curry is watching that forecast out there. It's warm to start the day again.
Yeah, pretty mild start, but it is going to be a hot afternoon. So if you do need the light jacket this morning, keep in mind, layer it up. You'll be fine in short sleeves and a tank top this afternoon. As far as this morning goes, though, you'll find quite a bit of 60s and 70s out there. 73 in Albuquerque, 70 in Roswell. Good morning, TRC, looking at 70 as well, with the 40s and 50s up across northern New Mexico in southern Colorado. Now, Albuquerque, our temperatures this afternoon, like I said, going to be toasty, mid to upper 90s across the metro. Sunny skies on top with just a slight chance of a stray storm. Santa Fe looking at highs in the low 90s, mix of sun and clouds to finish up the afternoon. Taking it into the Farmington area, you actually have some pretty good rain chances in the forecast today. There'll be spot storms, but the temperature is still skyrocketing well into the 90s in your area. Roswell, high temps in the mid 90s, but you are unlikely to see anything in the way of storms or showers today, staying dry for the remainder of the work week. These storm chances will favor the northwestern corner today. The temperatures stay hot, but we have an active weekend of storms on tap, and this actually stretches us into early next week too. So a lot to cover in that 7-day forecast. Those details coming up.
Meantime, happening today, an Albuquerque aunt who police say used an ice bath to punish a 3-year-old, nearly killing her, could learn her sentence today. That little girl was unconscious and had no heartbeat and was severely hypothermic too when rescue crews found her in January 2016. She was clinically dead for more than an hour before being revived. Tiffany Desvine pleaded guilty and is now facing a possible 12 years in prison.
Police continue to investigate a South Valley shooting that left 2 people dead. APD is questioning one person. They say it happened at a home near Coors and Bridge yesterday afternoon. Now, officers say when they arrived, they found one man dead and another with a gunshot wound. That man was taken to UNM Hospital, where he later died.
2 people are waking up in jail after a chase that ended on the I-25 frontage road near Montgomery. This happened early yesterday evening. Deputies say they spotted a reckless driver and had to use a pit maneuver to stop the vehicle. One deputy was treated for minor injuries. The suspects' names have not been released yet.
State police have recovered the body of an Albuquerque man who drowned at Coachley Lake. On Saturday, 34-year-old Ariel Gonzalez Vasquez was swimming when investigators say large waves and wind made swimming difficult. He went under and never resurfaced. This morning, Representative Steve Scalise is back in the hospital. He's the congressman most seriously injured in last month's shooting at a baseball field in Virginia. Now, Scalise returned to the intensive care unit at a Washington hospital. Readmission is due to a possible infection. He's listed in serious condition. We're expecting an update on his status a little later today.
Meantime, firefighters are preparing for a busy day fighting blazes across the west. Wildfires are burning right now in a dozen western states. In Breckenridge, Colorado, people who live in 500 homes are evacuated. Aircrafts are likely to continue dumping retardant and water on those flames today. Meanwhile, several new wildfires also popped up in Southern California this week, where temperatures are expected to remain pretty high.
A group of kayakers in New Hampshire are dry and safe this morning, but they had a bit of a scare. They got trapped in a dangerous section of a river yesterday. A girl was trapped in the water on a rock. The others had become stranded on the island. Now, rescuers went out into the river with ropes and got the girl out of the water before using a boat to rescue the rest of the group. Luckily, no one was injured. The hot weather continues today, but storm chances are improving. Kristen Curry is in after the break to explain what you can expect in your outlook.
Also, a whale of a time. These boaters got a really big surprise visitor. Video of this experience and why this right here is so rare coming up next. Plus, covered in flames, hear from a firefighter injured while on the front lines and what he has to say about the moment that he caught on fire. Welcome back. Live look over downtown Albuquerque this morning as we wait for the sun to rise. Beautiful start to this Thursday morning and a little mild out there. Kristen's going to talk about some of the temperatures we're expecting today and the developments in the weather a little later in the week here in a few moments.
A firefighter is back home healing this morning after he was burned battling a recent wildfire. In late June, Eddie Marquez and other Santa Fe County firefighters were sent to the Golden Fire in the East Mountains. While cutting trees to prevent the fire from spreading, Marquez says his saw stopped working. While checking on it, gas shot onto his face and arm. Then in seconds, he was covered in flames.
The guys jumped on me and started throwing dirt on my face and then tried to put my arm out. And I just remember screaming, saying that it hurt. And by that time, my gloves were off, but my hands felt really hot.
Marquez spent days in the hospital with 3rd and 2nd degree burns. He also had skin graft surgery. Marquez says his biggest worry was his son.
I was thinking he wasn't going to be able to recognize me or that I wasn't going to be able to be there for him.
Now, there are fundraising sites set up in his name. You can find that information on krqe.com.
This video of a massive whale shark is getting a lot of attention this morning. It was spotted at night off the coast of Maryland as a captain captured it on video. Look at that thing. Wow. It's just massive. Video shows the large whale shark swimming just past the boat. Whale sharks are extremely rare off the mid-Atlantic coast. The giant harmless, is it a fish? Is it classified as a fish?
Yeah,
I guess
call
so.
it a fish, yeah.
It can reach lengths of 40 feet or more. 40 feet long.
That looks bigger than 40 feet.
That looks way bigger
huge.
than 40 feet to me.
Yeah, wow, what a sight.
He's just kind of chilling out there. I'll tell you what, if I saw that, I'd be taking pictures. These people, what a sight. It's something never going to forget.
In the dark, too. Makes it even scarier.
It is kind of scary.
Yeah. All right, let's get started with a look at your forecast, guys. And the metro looking at a mostly sunny sky. Again, an isolated storm chance possible. Not exactly holding my breath for significant rain, but the 7-day forecast does show more rain chances on the way Saturday through Monday. Again, these are hit and miss storms. Not everybody will see rain, so don't expect a washout out of this setup. That high pressure has got to move out of the way if we want to see widespread soaking rains. But of course, we'll keep you updated if that forecast changes.
Any little bit, as we were saying in the last half hour, any little bit is going to help and cool things down, I think, right? I mean, at least temporarily.
Yeah, for like an hour or two.
That's okay.
Yesterday.
Makes you feel like it.
Yesterday we still hit 94. We've been above average for the last several weeks.
I feel it. My swamp cooler can't keep up.
I know. We got a big old cold front. That's what we need.
But we do need that. And if cold only means 5 degrees, I'm okay.
Yeah, we'll take it. All right, thank you, Kristen. Now let's get a look at that morning commute with George Thomas.
Thanks. Right now, things are looking quite well on all of our major roadways. No delays on 25 or 40. And we're going to take a look at a couple of construction zones we want to remind you of that'll be with us throughout the day. Central Avenue, east and westbound at Atrisco, and Central east and westbound between Wantabo and Tramway. Left lane closed in those locations. Don't forget about the ramp restrictions on 40 westbound at 98th Street. I'm George Thomas, KRQE News 13 Traffic.
In just days now, drivers on Alameda could see delays. Starting Monday, the county begins work on the second phase of an adaptive traffic signal system. It adjusts how many cars are on the road. The signals turn green when a certain number of cars line up at a red light. 4 new intersections between Coors and Cottonwood Drive are set to be upgraded. It's estimated around 44,000 cars cross the river every day, making that area the busiest part of Alameda. It's nothing more frustrating when you get stacked up at a light, is there?
Absolutely.
Hopefully that'll help. Pardon me, a friendly basketball game. Pictures of a boy and an officer are trending this morning. What that kid has to say about his new friend.
And new evidence, there may be new proof a famous pilot survived a plane crash nearly 80 years ago. More on what experts are now saying happened.
And welcome back. High pressure is still in control. So as long as that high is parked over the Four Corners region, it's keeping the storm track well to the north. What we have on top today is just a little bit of instability and some moisture to fire off a handful of storms over the northwest and southern Colorado. You'll notice the intensity coverage of these things. Not spectacular. We will be watching for gusty winds out of those storms. Strong downburst winds certainly possible too, but the Metro Threat Index here in Albuquerque throwing in an isolated storm chance just in case a stray storm gets in here, but we are not favored to see the widespread coverage. Our temperature is the bigger issue as we continue with the upper 90s across the Rio Grande Valley.
Hot, hot, hot. So this newly discovered 80-year-old photo is raising some new questions this morning about Amelia Earhart's disappearance. A new documentary is renewing conversations about the famed pilot's 1937 crash landing in the Pacific. You can see this blurry photo here. Take a close look. Experts are torn about what it may uncover. Some are saying that it proves Earhart survived the crash and is in that photo with her navigator, Fred Noonan, who is also believed to have disappeared. Other photos say this, or I should say other experts say the photo falls flat and is just the latest in a web of unproved theories about her disappearance. She's said to be sitting down there on the dock.
Oh, sitting.
And kind of turned with her face facing to the right there. Earhart was the first female pilot to fly solo across the Atlantic. The History Channel documentary Amelia Earhart, The Lost Evidence airs Sunday. What they're saying happened is at least one person is alleging that this photo shows that she was actually taken by I think it was the Japanese boat afterward, and that they had her plane there too in that photo, and it shows her following the crash landing.
Weird.
Interesting.
So
I gotta watch that.
Yeah. All right, it's called Gorilla Glass, and it's already used in iPhone screens. Well, now glassmaker Corning is introducing a concept car that uses it in passenger vehicles. It unveiled the car in New York to show off to investors. The Gorilla Glass is used in the dashboard, the center of the steering wheel, and the center console. Even the roof is glass. The company says it's much thinner, lighter, and stronger than regular glass, that is. They say it could help with fuel economy, but the big drawback right now, it costs a lot more than regular glass.
I'm sure it does.
Interesting. I'm not against this idea though, especially when it comes to, you know, the dashboard, the steering wheel and stuff. I think that actually, you know, if they could make a way to make it cheaper, then yeah, by all means.
They usually figure out a way.
So Corning is making the car too?
Yep, the whole concept car.
That's
because
awesome.
the roof is glass too.
Yeah, I was just thinking they had the glass elements, but wow, they made the whole vehicle. Incredible.
Pretty impressive. All right, a 10-year-old boy now has a new friend this morning after one police officer took time out of his day to play some basketball. His dad took pictures of them playing and shared them all over social media. The boy won, saying he wasn't worried with his family cheering him on.
I've never played anybody like a police officer or anything, and I wanted to try. And then when I beat him, I had like the best. It was like one of the best moments of my life. The next best moment is meeting Stephen Curry.
Meet Curry. Hey, Curry.
Hey, the two new friends have already challenged each other to a rematch.
That's cool.
Maybe
cute.
Curry can join them.
Yeah, he'll get to too.
All right, that's what's trending this morning. Here's what's coming up in our next half hour. The ultimate surprise: when one dog runs away, he makes a remarkable return, and it's all caught on camera. We'll show it next.
And breaking overnight, police crack a 9-year-old cold case, arresting a man who allegedly brutally attacked a woman. How it happened and what we know about that suspect this morning.